Randy's down there doing his thing, walking around looking to see if he can find something in a cow path or something before we get started. But we're gonna get back in here and set up in the same place we were last week before it gets too hot. Get one more dig in here. I want you to see these trees. I don't know if you can see them. I'm gonna get a close up of this white oak right here. You can see it right through there. That tree is probably 150 years old, 100 at the very least. Huge tree. Here's one right next to it that's dead. May have been 75 years old or so. And it's dead, going through a natural cycle. You think about how many times this has repeated itself in the last several thousand years. Trees grow up, die, fall down. More trees grow in its place. This place looks nothing like it did 5,000 or 6,000 years ago. The only thing left are the rocks that they left behind, and they're here, buried under this ground. Just imagine how many in this little 20-yard by 15-yard patch that we got ahead of us here. How many points do you think are buried in here? How many artifacts? I don't know, but we're gonna get digging and see if we can find out. All right, we've been set up in here digging since about 7:30. It's 10 minutes to 10, and we dug a hole there, a pretty good hole. You can see the piles, finding a few chips and flakes keeping us going, but Randy had the idea of moving over to another spot over in there where you see the yellow bucket, and just filling that bucket up and bringing it back, just doing some test digs. And I think we got us a drill here, folks.
Oh yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice little drill, little red jasper drill. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Just a very tip off of it.
Little pencil drill, huh?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and I mean that's just really one bucket, 2 buckets. Yeah. That's only the. So, I think we're gonna move over there and dig. All right. See what we can do. All right, we moved over here where we said we were, and we did the first shovelful. And it's not a point, but if you'll remember on a couple of videos ago, we had our first cooking balls that came. They came just outside the fence, right there. And look what Randy found.
You even got charcoal.
Yeah.
Where it's been in that hole.
And
right
that's that's a big one for here. I mean, well, the other two were a lot smaller than that.
I think I hit it with a shovel.
And you don't, if you don't know what cooking balls are, there's 2 lines of thought on those things. Some folks say they put them in the fires to control the temperature of the coals. Others say that they didn't have fireproof pottery, so they would heat them up in the coals and put them in the bowls in their water to heat it up to make soup or stew or whatever they wanted to make, or their tea or whatever. And but that's what cooking balls are, and this is a good example of one right here. And just in this spot that Randy suggested we come over, we're about of the opinion, if you dig that much dirt and you hadn't found something, or if you find 2 or 3 good points, move. So we're gonna keep at it right here. Stay with us, and we're still going. And one thing we want to tell y'all before we go and see Randy chopping these roots. These trees that you see us digging up, they're not really trees. They're privet hedges. They're invasive species. These farmers don't like them. They want them out of here. So every one we dig out, we're doing them a favor.
saving their fence.
Saving their fence, yeah. But
They lose pasture to it and everything else.
I wanted to, yeah, a lot of pasture to it, because see how it creeps over the edge of the fence down there. They can't get up there to plow anymore. But this is what I wanted to show you too. Another cooking ball, and that's 2 good ones. And we're going to keep looking. All right, folks, you hear that? That's the sound of success. We're getting down to the bottom of this shaker box, and that's the hole. Randy was right on when he said move over here, right after that shaker ball. Look what we got in there. I think the tip's missing, but that's okay. That's
today?
fine.
Today
Today
that's a ding.
that's, yeah, a tip ding. You darn right. I'll wash it off there. See what it.
I might get it all over the camera lens today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be pretty there. Look how thin that little thing is.
Mm-hmm. Yep, little
they-
point ding, but it's all right.
I thought maybe they'd worked it back down. I think it's just
Yeah,
impact.
it's just impact fracture or something. Yep.
And that's just a little bit of tip off of it.
And they brought it back to the camp and took it off and put another one on. Now that's cool.
That's cool, folks.
We'll take that. Nice material. I don't remember seeing much of that. And another thing that we say yellow jasper, red jasper, whatever the kind. A lot of these, most of these points that we find are made out of just Mississippi gravel, stuff that they can find.
Heat treated.
And heat treat it. Something they can find in the rivers and creeks, and heat treat it. And
Just easier to say
Easy-
yellow jasper than
it's easier to say yellow jasper,
some
red
kind of rock they heat
jasper.
treated.
Yeah, that's it. We got something Randy's working on over here, something we found in this hole. We have dug down. How deep is it? You about 2 foot or 8?
That's about 12, 13
He's a foot or so down. And of course we come upon a big varmint hole, but what's important is we come upon a fire pit, a big fire pit. We've been digging up some cooking balls right there, and we came up on a good fire pit. The soil around it's all gray from the ash and a lot of charcoal in it, and Randy's trying to get a profile trimmed off the side of the walls so you can see it better, and then we're gonna show it to you.
Hi folks, this is what Spike was just telling you about. A lot of you had asked about the cooking balls and where we found them and all that. Right in here you can kind of see where to go from a topsoil layer down to this clay, but in here it turns black again, and that's all ash, and we've been pulling up big pieces of charcoal through here down this bottom layer. We've rolled out probably a dozen or so cooking balls out of this little area right here, and down here the ground kind of caved in on me a while ago, so we got some kind of varmint den. Probably comes up over there somewhere, and probably on the other side of this log. There's all kind of things here that could do that. If you've got gopher tortoises in your area, it could have been something like that, but here they haven't had them probably in 50, 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a fox, maybe a coyote den, but just kind of cool. Some of the cool stuff we come across, but we found more chips and flakes and bigger stuff right here where this fire pit was, and we've kind of, you can see the hole here, we kind of moved back, and hopefully we get in something there.
All right, we want to show you this, if nothing else but for the color. But first we've been digging around that fire pit. It's the biggest one. We've got that dirt Randy has caved in on it now. That's the biggest fire pit we've ever dug. Just finding cooking balls, a lot of cooking balls,
Lots
of cooking balls, and we'll show you those in a little bit. I want to show you this for the color. It's a base, and it's
all
broken,
shattered up.
but yeah, it's all busted all up. But look at the color in that thing. Couldn't that have been whole?
Ooh, man.
Yeah, we all
Y'all still
over.
hear me screaming.
Yeah, we all over the chips and flakes in here, and every shovelful is too. There sooner or later something else is going to pop out of here. But so stay with us and let's see what we can do. All right, of course we've only ever found 3 fire pits out here that we dug, and the other 2 were nowhere near this size. We've been digging this thing an hour. We started up about 12 inches from the top of the soil, and you can see now we're a good 24 to 36 to the bottom of it, and it's still going. This is a huge fire pit, a huge camp at one time. Sooner or later we'll happen up on the artifact. We're finding a few cooking balls. We're gonna keep digging. I just wanted to show you this. All right, got back to the truck and cleaned this up. We dug this up at the bottom of that fire pit. It's a piece of sandstone, but if you look close, you can see it. It's a nutting stone. A couple of little dimples there, but it's definitely been used right there. So we dug that up at about, what, 3 foot, Randy? About 3 foot deep, and right in the middle of the fire pit. I guess they got tired of using it and pitched it in the fire pit.
I kind of walked over after we was taking a little break and walked this cow path, and it's about the same place we found the little Gary last week. But you can see it right here laid up on top. We had all that rain last week over here, and it's just hard not to walk these cow paths along these fields and stuff, because they get loosened up and then they get rained on, and that's what we get right there.
Look at that.
Just the ear knocked off.
Just the ear. Fine little red point.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Yes, sir.
That ear off right there. That side.
Yeah. Yep, right there. Pretty smooth, huh?
Yep.
Looks like a little earless Gary.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we found a few more artifacts, but found another varmint hole, and kind of reached my hand way up in there to kind of dig the dirt out. And I want you to look right here. And as you can see, get some of this stuff out of the way. It's a little baby mouse in a nest, and I pulled him in the nest out, and I'm gonna see if I can get him back up in there, and a little farther in there, and we're gonna leave him alone.
Yeah, because I don't want to be nowhere around him.
Yeah, Spike don't like mice.
I don't like mice or rats. I'm not gonna kill him because he's out here in the woods, ain't bothering nobody. But if that sucker had been in my house,
Well, he's gonna dig right there too. I'm gonna leave him alone.
you can fill his hole back in there.
Yeah, we'll go around him. Even if
We
it is
fill
a
all
mouse.
these holes in him anyway. Yeah, we'll go around him. He ain't bothering nobody out here.
Nobody but Spike if you'd got on him.
Oh God. I'd rather cottonmouth fall out of a tree on me than that rat.
As you can tell, Spike don't like mice. Anyway, just something cool.
Alright folks, Randy has walked up on a cool artifact here. Look at it buried in that moss covered ground. Now that's how I like to find them too. We're gonna see what it is. Oh, it's a base off another one. Yeah.
Golly, that's what, 4 or 5 bases for me today?
Yeah.
We didn't do it. We just found it. I'm not kidding.